In today's car, when you go into a car, you start the car, you have various applications running. Some of them are mission critical, some of them are even mixed criticality, which means that, yes, they're not urgent enough for us to respond, but they also do have value, right? A quick scenario here would be you're driving, you're hearing the news, and then there's something in front of the car that comes in. The car needs to emergency brake, and that's where the QNX RTOS, which is also safety certified, kicks in, brings in the software operation that needs to brake your car. We power the most safety critical applications across the world.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Nikhil Rai, Senior Global Product Marketing Manager at QNX. Nikhil, how are you today?
Hi, Andrew. I'm doing great. Thank you for giving this opportunity, and I'm really excited to share more about me, my profile, and also our company here. So, yeah, hope you're also doing well, and happy Friday as well.
I am, thank you. I am doing well, and happy Friday to you too. Appreciate you spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a bit about yourself and your background and about QNX.
Sure. Maybe I can start in terms of a quick introduction from my side, my personal, my business, my professional side of things, and then also give you a quick overview of our company, what we do, and where we operate, right? So in terms of my introduction, yes, I'm Nikhil Rai. I'm currently a senior global product marketing manager at QNX. QNX is a part of BlackBerry. It's a subsidiary company of BlackBerry. And in terms of my profile, yeah, I have 18 plus years of work experience leading product strategy, product marketing, and even business development, primarily within the complex technology industries. And when I mention complex products and complex technology, it's a combination of embedded software that drives electromechanical software applications, particularly within a mission critical and safety critical environment. So this would mean that, yeah, our customers and my product lines over the years of my experience have been to serve industries within automotive, electronics, aerospace and defense, medical devices, and even industrial automation and machinery, where you have complex machines, complex products that have a combination and layers of embedded software that drive safety critical applications within safety critical and mission critical environments. So yes, in terms of my experience, yes, started off as an electronics and software embedded software engineer. Started off my career at Bosch, where I built automotive electronics and software applications for various OEMs. And then moved to the US, worked a little bit in Germany as well, moved to the US, got my MBA in business education, and then moved into technology product marketing, where I worked at MathWorks, PTC, and now I'm at QNX. We essentially operate in a complex product technology industry, and it's just not software, but it's also hardware and electromechanical elements guiding and driving mission critical applications. So as part of my role at QNX, yes, I'm a senior global product marketing manager there, and I also have a focus for foundational product offerings that QNX offers and serves all of these critical industries. In terms of where I operate and where QNX operates, we essentially power some of the most critical embedded software applications across the world. Our customers, our industries, and our customer profiles and domains include various complex machinery, various autonomous ADAS applications that currently are part of the automotive industry. And think of the next generation of self-driving cars, for example. They contain a lot of complex machinery, electronic circuitry, and embedded applications that need to have a very robust foundational software platform. And that's where QNX comes into picture, where we are a software foundational platform that can drive a lot of these mission critical embedded applications. As part of our, yeah, just to conclude here, as part of the platform itself, our primary offering is the QNX real-time operating system, which is a microkernel-based operating system, a real-time operating system that can go to a very high fidelity and granularity in terms of how can we partition and manage various mission critical applications and not fail when a scenario provides that a human life or a safety critical environment needs a lot of importance. That's where the QNX RTOS comes into picture, making sure that you are able to respond within that certain time frame and the certain time limit, because it's an RTOS and not a regular operating system like a Windows or an Android OS, right?
I gather that there are very few people on this planet that don't interact with devices that have your products and software embedded in them. Just about every car on the road today. And you are talking about mission critical software, right?
Yeah.
We have become more and more reliant upon computers to the point where we're relying upon them in every direction. Your car has a lot of computational power at a given moment. And obviously somebody's safety or autonomous driving features. Talk a little bit about what the average person interacts with. What devices and products of yours are in most people's cars today?
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So to get started, right, maybe just giving you the big picture here, QNX serves top 9 automotive manufacturers in the world. So basically 9 out of 10, the top 10 automotive OEMs, the car manufacturers or car builders use QNX as one of their mainstays in terms of the operating system that runs on various embedded software applications. We are essentially embedded in almost 255 million cars today. We also have a huge upcoming backlog in terms of where the QNX OS, its overall foundational platform, is used across all of these upcoming next generation of cars as well. And these cars are not just the regular cars, but also the next generation of autonomous driving, advanced driver assistance applications that run on these cars, where safety is very important, right? So yes, we have a big breadth. The company itself, QNX, started around 45 plus years ago. Well, yes, we are older than BlackBerry, but again, we are part of the BlackBerry family, and it's part of one of the big important companies that drive a lot of embedded safety critical applications across the world.
Understood. Were you acquired by BlackBerry at some point? And when did that happen?
Yes, I think sometime around the mid 2010 or to 2011, between the time frame is when BlackBerry acquired QNX. QNX, of course, was part of also different other automotive supplier companies before. It started off as an independent company, got acquired, but eventually, yes, we are now part of BlackBerry.
Understood. And obviously, I would assume that the automotive industry is the largest vertical that you serve. And because if you have a vertical that's serving more than 250 million units, I don't know what that would be. What are some of the other who are your other major customers in terms of industries and verticals?
Yes, that's a great question. Again, in terms of our penetration, our reach, of course, we are the leaders within the automotive industry. But a lot of times, yes, the market doesn't know that we also serve some of the other big mission critical embedded software domains. So we are well penetrated even in industrial automation, medical devices, including the defense industry, where so think of it, right? Wherever you have complex product development happening, wherever you have a combination of layers of software driving complex hardware that also needs to respond within critical time frames, QNX RTOS is inevitable, and it is going to be used. So to answer the question in short, on top of automotive, we have industrial automation, heavy machinery, and a lot of other commercial industries where we do have a presence.
There must be some competition out there, since there's one OEM car manufacturer that doesn't use your equipment. But other than your incredible dominance in the segment, what differentiates you in the market? What makes QNX the leader?
Yes, obviously every industry does have competition, and we have competitive players. But again, one thing to remind ourselves is, given that it's a mission critical, safety critical embedded software domain, there are not really a lot of competitors. We have a handful of players. I may not necessarily name them, but they definitely do serve similar industries. And in terms of our differentiation, right, we are a posix-based microkernel real-time operating system, which allows the delineation and the partitioning of various mission critical tasks or operations that need to guide a certain embedded application, right? So the beauty of the microkernel environment is that it's not going to be loaded up like or get overloaded when there's a number of tasks that come into picture. And if we need to serve each of those various mission critical tasks within certain environments, the parallel running of these tasks within the microkernel architecture through our latest QNX software development platform enables us to manage all of these applications at a high throughput, better fidelity, and going to the highest bandwidth in terms of how we can manage these applications and even serve them. So think of a car, right? Whenever in today's car, when you go into a car, you start the car, you have various applications running. Some of them are mission critical, some of them are even mixed criticality, which means that yes, they're not urgent enough for us to respond, but they also do have value, right? So as of today, with the whole software defined automotive development and the software defined design revolution that's happening, everything that needs to be created today, whether it's a complex application or a hardware application, starts from software first and then moves towards designing and deploying it, right? So in a car, if you today go in and switch on those screens, QNX Cabin as a solution from QNX is one of the mainstay platforms that a lot of OEMs use to power up the environment, bring in mixed criticality applications, and also host guest operating systems, which run on top of the primary foundational platform as well. So QNX RTOS is able to interact with an Android or an Apple guest OS, bring in the required information, serve it up at the right time. But at the same time, if there's a critical scenario where you have a need of an emergency braking, the RTOS, the QNX RTOS is able to prioritize that and serve that application first, than serving the regular mixed criticality applications, which need not require that immediate criticality, right? So think of a quick scenario here would be you're driving, you're hearing the news, and then there's something in front of the car that comes in. The car needs to emergency brake, and that's where the QNX RTOS, which is also safety certified, kicks in, brings in the software operation that needs to brake your car. And yes, in short, we could claim that we save lives, but yes, there could be different disclaimers, but we power the most safety critical applications across the world.
You mentioned Android and Apple, and I've always thought that the most challenging thing for you to do is to level the playing field, because there are thousands of different versions of operating systems for Android. There's a dozen different or dozens of different for Apple, but each car has to work regardless of who gets in and what device they plug in. That's not a simple task, right? And the fact that we can now update firmware and software over the air has to be one of the greatest advancements in the automotive world, that you don't have to go diagnose a problem at $200 an hour at the dealership and have them update your firmware and things like that. Tell me a little bit about how do you level the playing field for so many end users to communicate with your firmware in real time like that?
Well, that's a great conundrum that a lot of OEMs today have, right? You described the problem in a very nice way, where you have this whole software-defined revolution happening. There's a transition to cars that have software-defined features first. They need to interact with multiple OSs, multiple critical applications that need to run all together at the same time, right? And this is a challenge which every OEM has, and QNX has actually come forward and offered a solution that can pre-integrate a digital cockpit software, and this is what we call, right, those huge screens that you're seeing today in every car. That's known as a digital cockpit, for reference, and the cockpit itself acts as a channel to interact with the driver, with various applications, and even engage with mission critical scenarios, right? So QNX Cabin, as a mainstay solution from our company, is a pre-integrated digital cockpit software reference implementation that provides a base development framework for any OEM to design digital cockpit systems. And through that solution, we do have various connectors that can help build a safe and secure foundation to accelerate all of this digital cockpit development that could either involve safety critical or safety certified applications that need to be interacting with the digital framework. But at the same time, you could also bring in guest operating systems, and obviously, as you've heard of Android OS or Apple CarPlay, there is a framework, a platform that can actually bring in various host applications, help the customer or a OEM build that initial framework of how all of these applications need to be integrated. And eventually, we obviously have our own real-time operating system that can also act as the RTOS that can prioritize safety critical versus mixed criticality applications, right? So we essentially have a solution that makes the life of our customer easy, where you need all of this integration that needs to be done, but then we provide that base level platform that has all of those connecting pieces on top of our foundational platform.
I'm going to switch gears for a moment. As a marketer, you have the luxury of marketing the most dominant player in the industry, right? So that makes things a little easier, but there's still a job to be done. You still have to tell your story. What role has content played in the growth of QNX?
Yes, you bring up a great point again, Andrew. We are of course leaders in the automotive space, but that doesn't warrant the same attention in terms of any of the other industries we operate, right? And here's where my next goal, even within the company, is to make the awareness and create the thought leadership even across all of these other industries which are non-automotive. And when I say non-automotive, it's a combination of this big world of industrial automation, heavy machinery, medical devices, robotics, and even aerospace or defense, right? And to think of all of these different industries are huge industries in themselves, right? Even when you compare to the automotive world. So as a goal, and my part of my current work and focus is also to make sure that we develop the thought leadership, the awareness of how QNX can make a big difference in all of these other complex industries. And here's where content as a mainstay comes into picture, right? A lot of our customers within the general embedded space, and when I mention general embedded, industry, these are again the same industries which are non-automotive, but still require these kind of safety critical embedded software, right? We are building an initiative as of today in terms of creating this thought leadership, going into different customer domains within industrial automation, commercial heavy machinery industries, and medical devices, and show that there is high value of using QNX and changing the current status quo that all of these industries have. So say, for example, within the industrial automation space or even the robotic space, the whole industry has moved from an industry 4.0 and is now moving to the industry 5.0 approach, where there's smart automation, Internet of Things, or industrial IoT platforms that guide the next level of all of these industrial applications, right? And then think of an example here where you may have warehouse robotics operating within a big Amazon warehouse, which needs safety and security as a prime factor that needs to be incorporated even as a factory floor is built, right? And where is the platform, or what is the platform that you may use which can help build all of these applications and also help you integrate this, right? And moving from that status quo to a place where an industrial company or a robotics manufacturer can integrate all of this together. And if those customers are looking for those foundational platforms, and we actually have a solution in play here as well, and we call that a general embedded development platform, which essentially is a framework, a solution that can help a customer in all of these complex industries to go step by step, build the foundational software platform, the various sensors and actuators, or the framework that they may need, and also the safety certification and the security certifications that they may need to build all of these applications, right? So through our general embedded development platform, we are providing this as a mainstay solution to all of these other complex product development industries, and content marketing, content to show that we provide the required value upfront, and also the ROI that would come in terms of future proofing the software and making sure that you have a reliable system in place for a longer time, which doesn't have failures, is an important thing that comes out with all of this content collateral and the content strategy we put in place.
Has your relationship with the automotive industry enabled you to end up in their robotics end of things as well on the manufacturing side?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, that's exactly what we're trying to achieve as well. All of the automotive companies, of course, have big manufacturing floors, factory automation floors. But then if you look at the industrial automation domain itself, there are other players. There are the big players like, say, for example, Siemens or an Autodesk or even NVIDIA, right? Which are also making a large investment in securing and building the next generation of factories. So yes, we do have partnerships with all of these important bigger players, and that's one way we integrate ourselves within the bigger industrial environment. And say, for example, the latest QNX OS for safety platform that we released, right? The QS 8 as of today runs natively inside an NVIDIA Drive AGX Thor development kit. And NVIDIA, of course, has its own narrative and push towards all of these various different industries, right? So we do have, established strong relationships with the larger, bigger ecosystem players. And we are proud that, yes, we are able to influence some of these next generation applications that are running in these complex environments.
Excellent. All right, look down the road a year from now. What are some things you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
Well, personally, yes, I'm definitely proud to be a part of QNX. It's because of my previous career, right? I used to work at MathWorks, where I used to lead real-time simulation and testing platforms. And back at MathWorks, we were using QNX under the hood to essentially build complex control design automation applications that would run on all of these complex industries. And now I've taken a step above where I've come to the mothership, I would imagine, where QNX is essentially just not driving all of these critical applications, but through the ecosystem of QNX being embedded in all of these other best of breed tools. I do see that maybe in a year or two, the market recognizes this. The industry also recognizes this, that, hey, we are not just an RTOS player. We are a complete, we drive the whole systems development lifecycle by connecting to all these partners, and our partners running QNX across all of these different development stages, right? So that would be a win if I can communicate that through my marketing expertise. And of course, our focus on the non-automotive industries, because we are already a leader in the automotive side. We want to grow big in all of these other bigger industries, because it's not just about the company growing organically. It's definitely about making the difference that we've already made in automotive, and translating that whole software-defined approaches into, and the software-defined innovation into these other industries, right? And yes, we do have some early pilots running in these domains, such as industrial automation, medical devices, robotics, and yeah, we'll very soon see a bigger penetration there, I would believe.
Okay, so QNX has the very minor goal of world domination. I understand.
Not exactly. We'd love to call ourselves.
You heard it here, right?
Yeah, I think in terms of our positioning, we'd love to call ourselves as the Switzerland of the embedded software application domain. So yeah, we are here to partner and let everyone grow as well.
Excellent, excellent. I'm just being silly. Please tell us, what's your URL? Where can people find QNX, and what social media outlets do you use as well?
Yes. So if you'd go on Google, or as you say, in any of the AI search engines now, like ChatGPT, just type QNX, those three letters. That would take you to the website. The URL is BlackBerry QNX, blackberry.qnx.com.
Okay.
That's the extension. But yes, we, as I said, we have a separate domain that explains all of the various solutions and industries we operate in.
Excellent. Nikhil Rai, thank you so much for spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. All the best to you and yours, and continued success at QNX.
Thank you, Andrew. I do appreciate the opportunity here, and good luck to Business Ninjas as well. I look forward to seeing more of Business Ninjas and how you guys are making a difference in communicating the various companies that are making an impact across the world. So thank you for that.
My distinct pleasure. Be well. Thank you.